Hey everybody, today I'm going to go over the upgrade system for Season 1 in The War Within. This is just a continuation of the system that we've used from Season 2 of Dragonflight onwards, so if you're already familiar with it, nothing in here should be too surprising for you. I've put some links below to the tables and write-ups that I use to help myself understand the loot tables. I'd really recommend opening them up and having a look. For me at least, those visual guides are really useful, especially once you understand the systems, so definitely go check those out. First things first, let's have a look at all the parts involved. For upgrading, you're going to want to visit Kuzolf, a friendly Drakthir who is in this building here. He'll help you upgrade all of your items in exchange for Valor Stones and Crests. Upgrade tracks are the main way we classify the gear quality we get in WoW. It represents the starting and maximum item level that an item can achieve and is based on the content that you are completing. You also have access to the Great Vault for Raid, Mythic Plus, and Delves, where you can unlock an item to pick each week out of up to 9 choices based on the difficulty of the content you have done through the week. They'll usually give you an increased level of reward compared to the content that you have been completing already. So first we have Explorer, which comes from the easier world content, normal dungeons, and bountiful delves, difficulty 1 to 2, and covers items level 558 to 580. Adventurer. This comes from the harder world content, heroic dungeons, bountiful delves 3 to 4, and covers item levels 571 to 593. Veteran. This comes from looking for raid, mythic 0, and bountiful delves 5 to 6. Also purchasable from some reputations, and in the Great Vault from Raid Finder, Heroic Dungeon, and Delves 1 to 3. Veteran covers item level 584 to 610. Champion drops from Normal Raid, Mythic +2 to +6, and Bountiful Delves 7 and up. There is no loot increase after Delves 8, I believe, so no need to do any higher than that. And in the Great Vault, it comes from Normal Raid, Mythic 0 to 2, and Delves 4 to 6. Champion loot covers item level 597 to 619. Hero. So the Heroic track drops in Heroic Raid, unsurprisingly, and Mythic 7 and up. And it can come in the Great Vault from Heroic Raid, Mythic 3 to 9, and Delves 7 to 11. And like I said before, no item level increase after 8. Hero covers item level 610 to 626. And then the final one is the Mythic track, which drops from Mythic Raid and drops in the Great Vault from Mythic Raid and Mythic Dungeons of 10 and higher. Mythic covers item level 623 to 639. So the next thing you want to think about is what it actually costs to upgrade. So that is Valor Stones and Crests. Every item you want to upgrade will use Valor Stones and Crests. Valor Stones are used for each item. They come from doing all forms of content, and there's no seasonal cap on them. You can just only carry 2,000 at a time. If you're playing the game a lot, then you'll never really have much of a problem with these, and you can always farm more. Crests are the key items for upgrading, and they change as your item type increases. For this season, we have 4 types: weathered, carved, runed, and gilded. It costs 15 crests each upgrade point, regardless of type. Each upgrade raises the item level by 3 points, except for upgrade points 5 to 6 for Mythic Track and 4 to 5 for everything else, which raises the item level by 4 points. It's not really a big deal, I just thought I'd mention it there. Weathered crests come from outdoor activities like World Quests, Raid Finder, Raid Difficulty, and Heroic Dungeons. They are used to upgrade adventure tracks from 5 to 8 and veteran track from 1 to 4. Carved crests come from specific outdoor activities, usually the harder ones, Normal Raid and Mythic 0 to Mythic 3. These are used to upgrade veteran track from 5 to 8 and champion track from 1 to 4. Runed crests come from Heroic Raid 4 and Mythic 4 to 8. They are used to upgrade champion track from 5 to 8 and hero track from 1 to 4. Gilded crests come from Mythic Raid and Mythic 9 and upwards. These are used to upgrade hero track from 5 to 6 and Mythic track from 1 to 6. You might notice here that Explorer 5 to 8 is the same level as Adventurer 1 to 4. Adventurer 5 to 8 and Veteran 1 to 4 are the same. Veteran 5 to 8 and Champion 1 to 4 are the same. Champion 5 to 8 and Hero 1 to 4 are the same. It's also worth noting that you only have to spend crest to unlock an item level once per slot. So if you upgrade a Veteran chest piece all the way up to rank 8 and then you get a Champion chest piece, it will only cost you a reduced amount of Valor Stones to upgrade to that same Champion 4 piece, which is equal to Veteran 8. so don't be too worried about wasting crests. For the most part, you can't go too wrong. Upgrading weapons first is always a great decision though. Additionally, each time you increase the difficulty of the content, the level of your rewards will go up. So while Mythic 2 to 6 all reward champion loot, Mythic 2 and 3 reward champion 1, 4 is champion 2 to 5 is champion 3, and 6 is champion 4, as you can see in the table on the screen there. So it's always worth doing the highest difficulty you're capable of to save yourself crests where possible. The final bit worth noting here is the crafted gear, which you can see in this table as well. They cost you 45 runed crests per item for a 619 item at 5 stars, and 90 gilded crests for a 629 item at 5 stars. If you're doing content for gilded crests, then probably don't bother making them with the runed crests, as it would just be a waste of your crests. Typically, you'll want to craft embellished items, but I'd recommend going to your class guides on Wowhead or Icy Veins to see what they suggest if you're not sure. There's a lot of choices, and some items are heavily better than others. So what does this actually mean for you? For the most part, if you're doing content, you'll be able to get the upgrades that you want from the content that you're doing, most of the way at least. Let's say you're typically raiding normal difficulty, you will get champion loot, and from that normal raid you'll earn carved crests. With those crests you'll be able to upgrade that loot to champion 4 out of 8 at an item level 606. If you're wanting to upgrade it beyond that point, you need to dip your foot into Heroic Raid or Mythic Plus 4 dungeons to get the runed crests. The same for Heroic Raider like myself. I need to do Mythic Raid or Mythic 9 or 10 to get the gilded crests that I need to finish upgrading the heroic items. I choose to look at these as a good reason to push yourself a little bit harder than you might otherwise, and especially with the incremental progression of Mythic Plus, you're able to work up and progressively get better without being too overwhelmed all at once. That about covers all the upgrading system for WoW. It can be a bit confusing at the start, but once you get the hang of it, it's a decently versatile system. It can be a good idea to have a look at the highest content you think you'll be doing and then plan accordingly for what you're going to craft and upgrade. You might also find that you only need to try an extra level of a key or a delve than you were planning to unlock a whole new quality of loot, and maybe that'll give you the push you need to give it a try. The most important thing, as always, is to make sure you're having fun at whatever content level you're playing at. I'll go through here and show another couple of things I like. These are just a few different representations of the item level that you can expect to get. So these are in the different raid difficulties. These are from your different keystone levels. This one is quite nice and it's from the different delve levels. And they are all from Wowhead. There is a link below. This one is really nice from Ghost Opera. That's another good layout of the rewards and what they cost. This one breaks down the crafted items quite well as well to show the item level that the different qualities will give you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 stars for each item. So you've got the Spark, the Rune Spark, and the Gilded Spark, and shows the item level there. That's really quite useful. And then this one again is the main one that I look at, which shows all the delves and all the other things too. So hopefully they've been helpful. Definitely go and check out some of these guides that are online. They're very useful. I'll link to the ones that I've used here. And yeah, the crafting system seems really tricky when you have a look at something like this. There's a whole lot of tracks, a whole lot of crests, and it can be quite overwhelming, but once you've played around with it a bit, it's really quite simple, and yeah, don't be too afraid to spend those crests. Once you've spent it on a slot, it has been permanently spent on that slot, and if you need to upgrade another item, you don't have to spend again. So yeah, hopefully that's helped you out a bit. Good luck in Season 1, and maybe I'll even see you in some dungeons. Thanks.